the full moon in Virgo of 2023. This full moon is crucial. It's critical. The reason why there's so much detail that's surrounding the necessity of this full moon is because we're in Pisces season. Pisces is a sign that is ruled by dreams, it's ruled by fantasy, imagination. And as a matter of fact, most of the people that I've known have been needing to take plenty of rest since this Pisces season has begun. And because of that, we're getting into a different space of our own minds. I think one of the main aspects to this Pisces season that is getting overlooked is that people are physically feeling themselves slowing down. And because of the way that the world is, because of fears, imaginations, everything else, it's very difficult for people right now to know that they're in the place that they're meant to be. And one of the most important parts about Pisces is that Pisces is able to show you what's beyond the moment that you stop trying to look for it. So there's going to be a couple of transits as well to this full moon in Virgo, which we'll be getting into shortly. But one of the main things to note is that when we're in Virgo and Pisces, right? This full moon in Virgo is going to be on the axis of Virgo and Pisces, which is dreams and reality. The details that you've been missing out on are going to start to come to you. The things and the intrinsic feelings that you've been feeling throughout the season, there's going to be words for it now. There's going to be things for you to be able to actively do to make the things that you want happen, unlike what it was before at the beginning of this season. Not only that, but this full moon in Virgo is happening on the same day as Saturn and Pisces. Saturn and Pisces is going to change the course of our lives over the next 3 years. From now until 2026, Saturn and Pisces is going to make sure that you stay disciplined in your practice. And if you don't, you're going to not see the results that you're looking for. You might be wondering, man, why didn't I get that promotion? Well, did you meditate? Oh, man, I thought they were going to pick me for the team. When's the last time you did a energy cleanse for yourself? Oh, man, a person that I wanted, I thought that they liked me back. Did you even text them? These are the type of things that start to pop up as we get into this year, by the way, right? So now that we see this is the parameters of the full moon in Virgo, what is it that you want to accomplish? The full moon in Virgo will literally show you the step-by-step details and instructions on how to do so. But it all starts off with your heart. What have you been feeling recently? What feelings, as a matter of fact, have resurfaced for you, right? For me personally, it's one of those things where it's like, I know that my energy, for the most part, is very fiery. I'm a very fiery, what's up, hey, what's good, everybody, charming, charismatic kind of person. Through the course of my own life, I found situations where people have taken that natural appeal that I may be able to bring and start to derail my intentions about it because of my confidence. And ironically, those type of situations end up kind of taking you out of your pure energy, might take you out of your confidence for a bit. But when Pisces season rolled around, I got some rest, I got some reminder, and I started looking at some older things. And I'm like, oh, shoot, I've always been like that. Like, this isn't a facade. This isn't something else. This is actually a part of me. And to deny something that's a part of me is to lead other people astray when trying to get them deeper into their feelings. Now, do you judge yourself for not having everything 100%. No, take your time. Appreciate your efforts. And it's okay if things take a little bit longer to download for you than some other people might, because your specific solar system is different from everyone else's. The way that you operate is going to be different than someone of the same sign as you, or someone who may have the same rising sign. Twins are different. Everyone has different colors in the kaleidoscope that they live in. And Virgo is going to point out the details on this full moon about why those are important. What differences make that important? And why is that going to be so critical for the rest of 2023? So I'm really excited to be diving into this with y'all. Wanted to at least hit y'all with the first preamble bit. I do have the live chat open, by the way. So if anyone does have any questions throughout this, feel free to drop it down. I feel like I'm going to go straight over into the astrology, though, just to give y'all some more insight into that. But before we do so, I will have to do this because this is a part of my job. So we have the full moon in Virgo. Class right here, as you can see. This is my website. I have the readings that I have that are on sale. And I'm letting you know, so y'all know, that this is probably going to be the last general time that y'all see a sale like this. Just letting you know in the process, just letting you know so y'all do know, right? Let me know if y'all actually see what's happening too. I think my Wi-Fi might be tripping out, but oh, you do? Never mind. Should be fine. Anyway, but basically, I'm going to be really excited for this upcoming time frame in Saturn and Pisces, and I'm going to be putting my pricing back to where I know it's supposed to be, but I'm going to be giving y'all resources to really tap into from Saturn and Pisces on. I'm going to give y'all the game, but I definitely would love to support, get yourself a reading, everything else, and I'm going to have a bunch of different services coming up very, very soon. And now for the fun part, the moment that we all been waiting for. Let's hop into what this full moon in Virgo is actually about to look like, right? So, first thing to note that I see when I look at this is that the sun in Pisces is going to be making a conjunction over to Neptune, right? Mercury's in Pisces right there too. And as a matter of fact, Saturn is at the last moments of Aquarius. I didn't even notice that before. Saturn is at the very last moments of Aquarius on this full moon in Virgo. Wow. So Saturn being at its final moments of Aquarius before it goes into Virgo is so interesting because Saturn in Aquarius before Saturn goes into Pisces on the full moon in Virgo at the exact time is so interesting because Virgo and Aquarius rule details. Virgo is details in a sense that it gets in deeper. It digs in deeper into whatever it's looking at. Whereas Aquarius is details on a cosmic scale. What's going on up here? What's the detail over there? What's that specific? Where does that communication stem in? Now, Neptune being here too. Neptune on the sun during this Virgo full moon, this is going to be asking people, yo, is your dream actually big enough? Because I guarantee it's not. My dreams aren't even big enough. And I'm the one telling this to you. Society has programmed us in a way that when we think we're about to hit this threshold, we kind of stop, right? I had this conversation earlier. And I was like, yo, by the end of the year 2023, I'm going to be, and I want to be, and I'm going to be on a top 25 list of astrologers, period. That's my goal. That's my vibe, right? Top 25. This wise Aries woman looks to me and says, why not top 3? This is the full concept of how even when we know that we're doing something, we still limit ourselves due to society, due to traumas, due to other things that are going on that we might not even know about. Speaking of, what's so important today And over the next course of the next bit, let me actually check in the, I'm going to click back over into the thing right now. But we're going to end up having this Jupiter, Chiron, and Venus transit over in Aries. And technically, that is making an in conjunction over to the moon in Virgo. So the reason why some details aren't fun is because when people dig into certain details, those words start to hurt. I even know in a general helping sense, sometimes someone will say something to you and you're like, wow, that helped a lot, but oof, why you gotta do that? That's the full moon in Virgo. Because Venus, Jupiter, and Chiron is like big love energy, big luck energy. But do you remember why that hurt to begin with? Do you remember why you had to feel those things first? Because people talk so much about triumph, manifestations, all the great things, but some people haven't had a dark night of the soul. Some people are walking around here claiming they've never been depressed. They've never been upset about things. What's so important about spirituality, which is going to be a very critical part to this Saturn and Pisces as a warning, right? Not even a warning in a negative sense, but this is something to know. It's about integrating your light in your darkness. The moment that you start worrying about, is this light, is this dark, and is this good, is this bad, you miss out on aspects of yourself that need to integrate. Not everyone in the world is 100% either way. And the few that aren't even of this world. So let's keep it a stat. But what is important is accepting the journey. It's accepting that prowess. The sun's going to be on Neptune on this full moon in Pisces. There's going to be a certain sense of you have to have a certain sense of delusion in order to do something right. There is a certain type of abandon that you have to have in order to tap into your actual dreams. But you have to be brave enough. You have to have the courage enough. And it's in conjunction with the moon in Virgo is going to make people feel like, oh, am I good enough for this? Clearly. And you wouldn't be thinking it if you weren't, right? Hey, catching my live ones. What's good? Appreciate you for looking at the live stream. I'm checking the live stream on this right here. So I'll be looking at it every once in a while, but appreciate you for being here, and I'm really happy about this. But this is something that's so critical and so important to this full moon in Pisces. Let's see what else we got. The next thing to mention, this full moon in Virgo is happening over at 16 degrees, right? 16 degrees in astrology is a Cancer degree. So the Virgo, the Pisces, that energy, the axis between reality and dreams is going to also be impacting what hits home the most. If you grew up wanting to be a hairdresser and now you're a dentist, does that mean that you completely ruined your dream? No. In reality, for what was told, you would have made more money being a dentist. You probably have great clients. You might even enjoy what you do now. But if every time you see someone's hair messed up and you run over to them and you're like, oh, I need to fix this, and by the time you're done with it, you're like, oh my gosh, this is so perfect. I love this. Don't you think that's a gift? Not everybody can do that. You have to notice and realize what you can do that other people can't do easily. A lot of the times we expect things to be commonplace and they're really not. I'm here, a tech person, thinking everybody knows about the new tech things going on. I talk to some people and they're like, oh, I didn't even know I could do this with my phone. So what I'm trying to say here is that the talents and the innate gifts that you have, the vibes that you're able to bring are something unique. And even if you know other people in your niche that do it, that don't mean people outside of your niche even knows who they are. So you need to be that introductory point. You need to be that person. I know there are thousands and millions of people that need to know astrology. I know that there's a bunch of people that look like me or will resonate with me or my energy that are looking to find something that's going to finally make sense to them. So if I don't post, if I don't put myself out there, how are they going to find that thing that they've been looking for, which is actually themselves? Because anything that people see and admire in me, they see within themselves. And they're just wondering how to access that. How did I access this confidence? My astrology chart. How did I access figuring out how to do all these things? I learned my own chart so well that I can read anyone else's. Off rip. Off rip. And that's something that people need to realize. You tap into yourself so strongly, you get abilities and gifts that are just flowing through you that you might not have even thought was a gift. You might not even have seen as an advantage. But this is the whole purpose, and this is why it's so important. Hey, hi everybody. Hi, Luna Del Mars Lit. Anyway, but I'm just saying. So this is pretty much what I'm getting at, right? Okay. I'm gonna hop back for a second. I'm gonna just double check to make sure I'm hitting all the transits. If anyone has any questions at this time, I suggest you do so. I'm gonna finish up the astrology, and then I'm gonna talk about all the signs real quick and do a brief reading on everything just to get this going and get everything happening, right? So one last time, please check out my website. And if you are ever interested in getting a reading, just know next week these prices will never be the same again. Ever. And that's a promise to myself. Because I, on the axis of that same thing, know that my stuff is worth what the ticket price is and not the sale price. And in honor of myself and my work, I need to do so. So in your life, where do you need to raise the price? Where do you need to know what's going on? Where do you need to see what's happening? Definitely check out a birth chart or your birth chart. And I will gladly read it. I will gladly meet with you. I will gladly help you along the way, give you a recording for you to always have it and see it and read it. And that's what's important. So I'm going to talk to y'all now about the last major transit to this full moon in Virgo, right? So this full moon in Virgo is making a direct trine over to Uranus and Taurus. Have you noticed that celebrities haven't been wearing like the same amounts of makeup? Everyone's been kind of dialing down. People that have been simplifying things that they didn't used to. This Virgo full moon is going to show you and your genius the areas where you can make your life more simple. I'm a great example of this in this process. And the reason why I can use myself as an example is because I'm an Aries rising and I will keep rolling with it, right? But the idea of it is like you've seen any of my other videos. I have a big old green screen that just goes up, and then like with that green screen, I do a bunch of stuff and it's all good. But like the amount of time that takes to happen is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So why not simplify the approach? Meet people where they're also at. This is just me, plain and simple to see. And Virgo tries to remind you that sometimes the things that work just work. And Uranus and Taurus, making this trine to the full moon of Virgo, is trying to remind you that you don't have to recreate the wheel in order to be great. You don't have to be perfect in order for you to innovate. And whatever comes out of you organically is exactly what it's supposed to. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I had to do it. But anyway. Okay, let me double check the chat to make sure nobody asked anything. Okay, so you needed to hear this. Say less. Astrology-wise, what were the planetary alignments like 6 years ago today? I have no idea off the top of my head, but I will look it up in like literally 2 seconds. Let's see if there's something critical here, right? So I'm gonna go back 6 years in these transits real quick and see what's up. Okay. What were the transits doing 6 years ago today? Let's find out. And we're gonna get right into the rest of everything and start pulling for the signs afterward, but I do want to address this. 6 years ago today, we had the sun, was 2017. 2017 was, honestly, you might have just threw me for a loop. You might have just threw me for a loop. Wow. Wow. I honestly think this, whoa. Hold on, how you know this? How you know this? How do you know this? Wait a second. Nah, hold up. If I'm not mistaken, like literally 6 years ago today was when this was a very important time. I'm gonna try to find the pictures from this. Before I even get into the astrology for real, like this was like, I was like, this is a grand awakening for a lot of people, but I'm like, I think this is when I did. I like almost to the day, to be honest with you, because the sun, Mercury, do I have all the transits up right now? No, I don't. 1 second. Got you right now. So the sun, Mercury, Chiron, Neptune were all in Pisces. The moon was in Cancer. This is opening and exposing up to the emotional field. Everything else along the lines of that. Saturn was still in Sagittarius, making a trine over to Mars and Aries. So this was like a real activation for a lot of people. Uranus in Aries as well. And Venus in Aries was trying to show people the other side of things, whereas Jupiter in Libra was making sure that you had to kind of go into yourself, tap into your spiritual self in order for you to properly present yourself out into the world. So that's crazy. That is wild. But I swear that is around the time that I literally was like, everything else is clicked. All the things that I studied, everything else clicked. And I think it was on that day. I think I have it written down somewhere. I'm really not joking. That's crazy. I appreciate you for bringing that up. Wow. That's different. So someone asked, appreciate you 100%. But someone asked, before I get into everything else, let me just pop up. Then we'll get into the signs. So if this full moon hits your rising, what does that mean? That's a great question. So if this full moon is hitting your rising sign, consider it, the full moon is awakening your aura. The full moon is awakening your vibe. And I think this is a really good lead in into the signs, right? Because when the vibes start to change, when the full moon happens, you're going to feel a shift. And I think it's going to be a very similar shift to like what I was talking about in my circumstance when I felt like I had just tapped into something else. But the purpose behind this is that you end up kind of becoming that next stage and that next phase of what you know you're supposed to be. And that's a beautiful thing, but it's also sometimes a scary thing, because if it's on the axis of dreams and reality, this is like you being like having the hunch, being like, yo, I need to quit my job. And it's like, yo, but you make 6 figures a year. Why would you quit your job? And it's like, well, this doesn't align to my dreams. This doesn't align to my aspirations. This doesn't align to my heart. Why would I do this? Or vice versa. You're dealing with something where it's like, man, I know that there's like a calling for me, but I don't think it's vice versa, but I know there's a calling for me, but you know, like, I'm not going to take this calling. I'd rather just sleep it off, right? The full moon of Virgo and you being here by itself is showing that you care for what's going on with this full moon. So the full moon is going to be blasting the detail through your aura. Someone just said started a massive dark night of the soul den. That is literally, yo, I'm literally going to look that up again because I want to see what's going on, because 2017 was such an important year for me as a person. And I think it was for a lot of other people, because that's when I started for the first time seeing people like get into spirituality. And it was a time where things clicked to me. And then like within that year is when people were like, crystals. Oh, Palo Santo, energy healing. Wow, like that started then. So I really want to look deeper into that. I appreciate you bringing that up. But without further ado, let me just look one more time to see if there's anything else I'm missing. Okay, so this moon in Virgo, right, is making a light trine over to Mars. Word. And the light trine that it's making to Mars is basically trying to show you where it's like, it's uncomfortable chasing your dream. But no one cares that it's not comfortable. And you won't care it wasn't comfortable when you're chilling, comfy, doing whatever your aspirations are. Mars in Gemini and the moon in Virgo creates an angsty type of energy. So making a square over on this full moon, you might be like, yo, I need to go do something, man. I need to go hang out with some friends. I need to go do something like this. I need to blah, whatever, right? that's the Virgo and Gemini, like together making that square. Is like, it's just bickering about the same thing. Like, you're going to be internally like, why y'all doing this? Why? Right? So it's one of those things where your goal and your job in this Mars and Virgo making a square over to the moon is choose to believe in yourself past the anxiety that's happening. Because this is technically making us T-square to a certain degree, right? It's not a full T-square. I wouldn't trip about the full T-square. But what I will say about the T-square, right? Actually, I want to approach it like it is a T-square. Okay. Let's do this. Because there are aspects to the sun in Pisces, the moon in Virgo, and then Mars in Gemini for this full moon in Virgo, one of the energies that you should be looking at is actually towards Sagittarius. When T-squares happen, you have to look at what that bottom line of the T is pointing down to. That's what's going to be giving you a sense of alleviation towards this full moon. So if you are feeling anxious during this full moon in Virgo, what would a Sagittarius do? I will tell you right now, as the Sagittarius himself, you just rolled through. The best quote for any Sagittarian energy, it is what it is. So if that plan does work out, look at me go. I did it. It's lit. If that plan don't work out, it is what it is. It's whatever. I ain't tripping. Do your thing, right? That's the type of attitude to approach with the full moon of Virgo. Because when you kind of like get to shrug off the struggle of what's going on and just accept that it's like, this is a part of this journey, that's going to transcend you even faster into you learning those details you need to put you forward. And that's what's most important about that right there. Okay. I have now talked a lot. I've said a lot of things. We're about to get into the zodiac signs in a sec. Thank y'all for being here, especially for the live stream part. It's always live and it's always lit. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these in the process. And we're going to be doing them throughout March because this is a really important month and I want to make sure everyone knows what's going on. Quit your job a 6 before your birthday. That are your effort. Oh, let's go. Congratulations on quitting your job for 15 years. I think a lot of the things too, and as I ramble again, but that's why y'all like when I do live videos though, is that the world we live in today isn't built for you to have the same job for 15 years. It's not. It's not. Especially for people that are Pluto Sagittarius, who will call themselves Gen Z, but it's just Pluto and Sagittarius, so we gonna get that into everybody's head. The expectancy for us to keep and stay in the jobs that we have is like 2 years. Right now, it's like stay in something for 2 years. If it's dope, keep it for 5. If not, Keep it pushing because the world is changing so fast. And I think the world is actually accelerating itself in a certain sense because of the way that technology is moving. So the things that we thought we weren't going to have until a lot later, they're starting up right now because they're built, like the technology is building on itself. That's just something for everyone to know. Please get good at your craft. Learn some AI tools if you need to. This is going to be the future. This is the age of Aquarius. Learn what you can, grab the tools that you can, and get really good at your skill. It could be anything, but get so good at it that can't replicate you. At least not with the same soul. Something to definitely keep in mind. I'm not trying to get extra like about it, but I also am. Do that. You know what I'm saying? And thank the tools that you're also able to use. The gratitude is very important. And that's going to lead you super far. So, one last time as I hop over here. This is my website. One last time before we get into the cards. And the reason why I'm honestly putting this up is because I need to end up putting some things. I need to grab my cards. What's good, Steven? I need to grab my cards real quick. So, grabbing my cards that are on the other side of my laptop. But if I close my laptop, the live stream stops. You know, one of those things. It is what it is, though. Appreciate y'all for being here. We are about to hop right back in. Just about. Oh, wait, one sec. Okay. Cool. I'm gonna be honest with you, like, I'm gonna be so real with y'all. I just had, like, one of my mustache hairs just, like, hitting my nose mad weird. I'm like, what is going on? It's bothering me, but it was just no way. Okay. Now that transparency is done, let's hop into the zodiac signs. And how it's going to impact you. I'm going to be intuitively pulling everything. The last times I've been doing that, I was doing it by house. But I really want to honor Pisces season and kind of just like dive in. I'm going to be using the OG deck, the Rider's Waite. All my cards are a little messed up, but they're rough around the edges like I am, so that's life. So salud. In the moment you've all been waiting for. All right, let's get it. So, this is the card pull, full moon in Virgo for all zodiac signs. Let's get it. So let's start off with the card for the collective. The card for the collective on this full moon in Virgo is going to be the Empress. And what's interesting about the Empress card being here is that the Empress is about the hearth, but as well as the abundance of everything. I love the Empress card because the Empress card to me is like the queen of the queens. Of course, we have the Queen of Wands, we have the Queen of Cups, we have the Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Pentacles. But the Empress is the one that those queens look up to. The Empress is the one where it's like, yo, she really got it together. The Empress is what you want to know what? The Empress card here for the collective is the same energy that the Bayhive looks at Beyonce with, right? And what this means is that it's trying to show you that you can become refined in your field to the point where you have a Bayhive of your own, of whatever capacity. No disrespect to the Bayhive in the slightest. I don't want to smoke. Love y'all. Beyonce by Beyonce is her best album in my personal opinion. I do not want to smoke. Much love. Regardless. But the idea, at least when it comes to that, that's how that ends up going. So let's actually start with the first card pull, which is going to be for Virgo. I'm not going to look at the live chat real quick because I want to get really in the zone. But let's go. For Virgo, we have the Four of Cups. Virgo, you've been waiting for your miracle to occur, forgetting that you are the miracle. Virgo, this is trying to show you that no matter how long you wait, no matter how much you sit and ponder about how much better something can be, it's only better when you remember that you're actually the person that does those great things. All those accomplishments and accolades didn't come from the resources, they came from you. And so while you're sitting around waiting for this resource to pop up and show up, you're feeling a little bit defeated and deflated. You're waiting. And yes, this is a waiting period, but you need to remember that you are the bag. That's what the full moon of Virgo is for, to show you the details, to remind you exactly your power, who you are, and what you're meant to do. So that's going to be the overall vibe real quick for Virgo. Let's get to Libra. For Libra, we have the Ace of Pentacles. You got money about to come in that is nice. You about to be set on some real. The Ace of Pentacles, and this is also Sun, Moon, and Rising, by the way, for all of them. But the Ace of Pentacles is trying to show you that the abundance that you acquire has everything to do with the charm that you're able to put out. And the charm that you put out is your bag. That is your money. That is what people are drawn to you about. And the more that you remember that the charm that you're bringing to the world is actually just you flirting with yourself, the easier it's going to be for you to receive those other material-esque things that you've been trying to maintain. Oh, wow, that new purse. Man, I want the new purse for people to see me with it. No, you want the new purse because you want to see you with it. And when you remember it that way, that's what's going to be leading you into a lot of abundance moving forward after this full moon of Virgo. But just know, Libra, the bag is coming, but you just got to wait. You just got to take your time, let it flow, and let it be what it is. And that's how it's going to happen. For Scorpio, what we got? Scorpio, we have the Six of Pentacles, right? Scorpio, you need to remember that childhood dream more than anybody else this full moon of Virgo. Scorpio, it's hard for you to dig deep sometimes, although contrary to your sign and the things that are said about it, it's hard for you to dig in deep sometimes because it requires a certain amount of vulnerability, and you have to also relive some of those experiences from maybe childhood or things that you don't like to see or like to remind yourself of. You have to see those things again in order for you to do that. This reminds me of I'm thinking right now of WandaVision, where there's this part where she gets taken to her past and she has to remember what it was that made her powerful to begin with. That's as much as I'm gonna say without spoiling anything. But if you haven't seen that show, I would definitely look up that part, just because that's going to be showing you an example of you need to literally walk through your shadow in order for you to remember that childhood dream. Unlike other people, it's going to take you a little bit more. But as soon as you do, you're going to be releasing those fears. And once you release those fears, you get to help that inner child again and really tap in and succeed at anything that you choose. And is that real? For my Sagittariuses on this full moon in Virgo, we got... Oh, we jumping. We jumping. Let's see what's going on. Sagittarius, we have the Three of Pentacles, right? And the Three of Pentacles is showing you where it's Sagittarius, no matter what you set out to do, you're going to do it. You're going to get it done. And everyone knows that you will too, before you even accept it yourself. The Three of Pentacles is trying to show you that the journey is going to make you stronger. The journey is what you're even here for to begin with. So this is you setting out on that pilgrimage. This is you setting out on that full adventure, knowing that no matter how it goes, you're going to keep it pushing forward. This reminds me of someone just walking through the entire desert. And although people left before, they found the oasis, you kept walking because you knew that oasis wasn't true. You knew that oasis was just a bunch of sand. And while everyone's eating a bunch of sand, drinking a bunch of sand, you keep walking. And by the time you're done walking, you find the water. That's what's going on for you, Sagittarius, on this full moon of Virgo. Don't deter from that path. For my Capricorns, for the Capricorns in the building, let's get it. Capricorn, we got the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is trying to give you a mastery of exactly what you need in order to succeed. You feel me, my G? Do you understand what I'm saying, man? Do you feel me? Let me stop. But the idea though, Capricorn, is that you're supposed to really cut through the BS. And you have the eyes for it. And what this full moon of Virgo is trying to give you is the sword to be yo, I know that they was lying at work about this for weeks. Slink, slink, slink. Like, you get what I'm saying? Oh, y'all was trying to cap on a Capricorn? Y'all was trying to lie about me? No. Here's what really happened with these scenarios. You speak your truth. Next thing you know, they're like, you know what? Wow, that was so real. We actually want to promote you for your efforts. You have to just come through with whatever is your most sincere and honest approach to anything that pops up this full moon in Virgo. And it's going to show you exactly how to cut through the BS in times of need and in situations where you're not sure if you can just rely on your own control to do so. Just something to keep in mind. So let's keep it going. We're going over to Aquarius. For Aquarius, we have the Three of Pentacles, right? Aquarius, you need to link up with people. You are literally in the process of greatness. I think there's going to be a lot of things that are coming through for you that are very like almost coming out of nowhere. And the job and the goal for you, Aquarius, right now is that you need to be in a position and you need to trust in yourself to link with people that you know are right. Ask those questions to those people in your field that might be better at something than you. You'd be surprised that they might even invite you to be around them. They might be like, yo, no, you come through here. This is all about community. Pull up. But if you don't take that chance to make that first move, how are you going to know? Look through the things. Who are your top 2, 3 favorite people in your field? Hit them up. You'd be surprised because one of them is going to answer. Something to keep in mind, Aquarius. Something to keep in mind. So, for Pisces, we have the Two of Pentacles. Pisces, I low-key expect this for you on this full moon in Virgo because Neptune's on the sun as well. And I think what this is saying with the Two of Pentacles is like, you're stuck in between two choices. I low-key kind of hate this card, I'm not going to lie. I don't hate it, but it's not my favorite. Because it's like, oh, look at the infinite, limitless possibilities you have. What if you just juggled them instead of doing something? And Pisces, the indecision that you feel over the course of this full moon of Virgo isn't personal. But you are going to be expected to make a choice before Aries season starts. So I would take the period after this full moon of Virgo, Pisces, to really allow yourself to see the power and prowess that you have always been pushing out. Because that's what's going to be giving you an extra edge when you head into Aries season after this. It's still your season as well. But keep in mind, that indecision is trying to show you that all possibilities are there. And that's the key behind it. So now I'm pulling right now energies for Aries. For Aries, we have the Six of Pentacles. Aries, have you been giving too much of the bag away? Have you been being too generous? I think you know what? Aries, you've been too generous. You've been way too generous with your energy. You've been way too generous with your time. You've been way too generous with certain things. And then by the end of the day, you don't got time to even do the things you want to do. This is about restoring the resources that you have and knowing that you're not supposed to give everything if you can't get something back in return. And it's not selfish to need something back in return when you give something. In some cases, yes. But Aries, you know what I'm saying, is that it's like, yo, if you keep giving everything away, keep giving your energy and power away, what are you getting back? Nothing. You got to recharge. And by the time you're starting to recharge, people are asking for more, and then you're pissed. Now the Aries is the asshole. Now the Aries is doing this. Like, just stop giving as much because you'll be surprised at how much energy you actually have when you stop just trying to do too much like that. Something to keep in mind. Taurus. I was going to say Toys R Us, but it wasn't one word. So Taurus, we have the Eight of Pentacles. My bad. So we have the Eight of Pentacles, right? Taurus, back to the lab again, bro. Back to the lab again, sis. You're going to have to start building it. You're going to have to start building it. The floods is coming. They told you to build an ark. Now you have to build the ark. You don't even know where the animals are yet that you have to save. You don't even know the people that are around yet that have to go on the ark with you. But you want to know what they told you got to do? You got to build the ark. Please use this analogy to know whatever it is that you are trying to build, this is the time to start it. This is the time to because all the ideas and the full moon's about release. So it's releasing the notion that you could just kind of have it come to you. And that's not how this is about to work. For what you're trying to accomplish, Taurus, you need to do yourself. You need to put the work in. You need to have those things. And you're used to this, Taurus, so it's okay. But you're going to have to be boom, 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 one block at a time, brick by brick. That's how I got to go. So whatever you're building, know that it's going to be brick by brick. And be patient with it in that process. It's going to turn out so much better when you take the time to just do it in small increments versus trying to do it all at once. Even if it is a big task, break it up into chunks. I'm telling you, it's going to change so much for you. So, next thing, right? We got Gemini. For Gemini, we have the 8 of Swords. So like I was mentioning earlier, Mars is in Gemini making that square. So Gemini, my suggestion is to you is to look to your sister sign, look to Sag, right? Because where you're normally good at the conversation and communication, Sag is good at the cerebral part, the thinking part, the knowledge part, the retaining that information. So this is kind of even showing you your blinders are on. So this is more so hey, I don't really know what to say. Good. Let yourself download what you know you need to fully explain. This isn't the time for Geminis to do the most as much as it is for you to kind of shut up and listen. And I say that with the most love possible. Listen to the whispers, listen to the universe. The universe got more to say than you do right now. So when it's ready to take your blinders off after this full moon in Virgo, please do so. Till then, it's okay if you can't see all the time. Just let it be and trust yourself. We have the card for Cancer. We have the 3 of Wands. So just like the one I got from Sag, you're moving forward. This is this reminds me of the Chariot card as far as the prospect of you're going to be making your first inklings. You're going to be making your first moves towards it. It's a very emotive season. This is you want to know what this is? This is you finally saying to that person, you want to know what? I think I'm in love with you. And then if they're no, you're not in love with me. You're you want to know what? Maybe I'm not. I'm in love with love. And I'll go find it elsewhere. Not with you. And not with you because you don't know what it means. I'm stop. But that's kind of the idea of it though, Cancer, where it's you're about to head on a new emotive fuel journey that's going to teach you how to tap into that inner part of you that you always have been looking for, but you've always been trying to resonate at. And although it's going to come through in a very technical way, just feel out what the type of details do show you. Ooh, okay, Leo. Okay, Leo. Leo, I just dropped 3 cards, bro. Come on, yo. Judgment card, Leo. Also got the Queen of Swords, Leo. Also got the Emperor card, Leo. As a matter of fact, Leo, it looks as though there's judgment between... Oh, it's my bad. Judgment between the Queen of Swords, Emperor, and everything else. I'm only showing them all because they dropped. But the one that was at the top is Judgment, right? And I think the judgment that's coming through for you, Leo, is trying to make sure that you honor both the exertion that you have as well as your need for rest that you have. The push is just as important as the pull, and the pull is just as important as the push. And this could even be playing out in your relationships or in your life. Maybe there is a person where you're having this push and pull with. The Judgment card is trying to show that it's if it's not a back and forth of push, pull, push, pull, push, pull, someone's going to get knocked over. or someone's going to trip and fall flat on their face. So the key here for Leo energy is that, like, this is about honoring the divine masculine and the divine feminine within you and within how it exerts outside of you. And I think if you could do that, Leo, within the next 2 weeks and really bridge in that, like, balance, if you will, of those two things, your Aries season is going to start off so dynamic, so wild, a sight and a splendor to see. And I got the King of Wands under that. Yeah, Leo. Yeah, you're going to be good. This is just bringing back and bridging back the loyalty and royalty that you have. Matter of fact, your loyalty to royalty is about to start to come up. And that right there has been the read for every zodiac sign. I'm now going to check to make sure there's no more questions or no one says something else. Let me see. Hey, Scorpio. Hey. All right, cool. So I appreciate you all for being here. I appreciate you all showing up. I'm be ending off this live stream now, and we will be getting back to it next week around the same time. So please be sure that you stay tuned. And last but not least, please end up ordering a beautiful, beautiful reading for yourself. I promise you next week, these prices will not be the same. They will not be the same. They will be reflective of the worth of information that I give to the world. And so just wanted to let you all know first. This is the time to get one if you ever want a discount, because this is the last time I'm doing homie prices for the collective. Probably ever. I'm not gonna lie. I've done this for 5 years. I want to make sure that I'm actually here too, because I'm living my dream, but my dream kind of expensive. So we're gonna make sure that it's set and squared away. But thank y'all for being here. I love you. I hope the best for you on this full moon of Virgo. Feel free to hit me up about it, about any question that you might have about this. And join the Lucky Stars community. I'm going to be working on that a lot more as we enter into Aries season. But it's going to be a community of just dope creatives, people that are just good at what they do. Fitness, like health, spirituality, anything. Please be sure to pull in, sign up for that. And it's a part of a larger community of a bunch of other communities that do all types of dope creative stuff. But please make sure you sign up for the Lucky Stars Club. I'm going to be talking about things relating to transits, and we already have some really dope people already making conversation, and we just soft launched it basically. So appreciate you all. Much love to you. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day, night, evening, or whatever you're doing, wherever you are.